The parrots. Okay. This is a Smodidika Sicha. I will need a little bit of a chizuk for Sunday night. Chodesh Agota Zach, und I'll in the Parsha Shavua, the Sicha, Anna, to verbring a little bit to Oilam. It's a good way. It's a good way to start the week with a Sicha. You don't know what the losing. Yeah, it's a Amish, a Gewaldike thing, and it's a Shod. And this is a Sicha, a Moididika Sicha. It's 50 years ago. Of Shalom Hey, when the Rebbe started the campaign that every Jewish woman and girl should light Shabbos candles. And the Rebbe brought a raya to Shitta from a Pashta Pasuk. The Rashi Memori Chazal, which is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Then Dvorim Neftuloim that the Rebbe took out of this Rashi. But first, let's learn Rashi, the Pshat, and then we'll get to the Yonim of Floim. Apelidike Sicha. Now, the reason I picked the Sicha is for a few reasons. Number one, we're learning now the Gemara is about Madlikin about Neder Shabbos Kodesh. Befrat this week is Parshas Chayei. And Ashgocha Protis this week we're learning about Al Sholosh Averis Noshem Meses B'Shas Misosa Meses B'Shas Leidoson, which is connected the three miracles that happened to Sora. And Befrote is we're moving into a new property of Mr. Cooperstein that has a special shaykhis that the Rebbe gave him the task to make, and he says that over the years he made 2 million pieces for Chabad Lubavitch Ner Shabbat Kodesh. So there's a helping with schus of Duchtan the Siche that they should help on Duchtan the whatever we need in order to get that place, the lights on that place. Okay. Parshas Chayei, it says Veisaper Eved LeYitzchak Eis Kol HaDvarim Asher Asa. Rashi said that Eved told to Yitzchak the unbelievable miracles of Kitzas HaDerech and the miracles that happened to him, the unbelievable miracles that happened to Eliezer. Gilu lo nisim shalas lo shekaptz lo haaretz shenedam lo Rivka b'tfilos. Okay. The pasuk continues, "V'ayeh Yitzchak oyelo Sora imay, v'yikachas Rivka v'tilo liisha v'yaveh v'yinochim Yitzchak acharei imay." Okay.
Somebody says because we read it in Rosh Hashanah in this week Parsha, if you didn't finish something Rosh Hashanah, you have a chance.
When he brought it to the tent, she became similar to Sarah. Called Mansha Sarah as long as Sarah was alive, as long as Sarah was alive, there was a miracle that there was a candle from Erev Shabbos to Erev Shabbos. Number two, there was Baracha Mitzui Bisa. Number three, V'onan Kosher Ala Oil. These were the three miracles that happened. And once she died, Pasku, the three miracles stopped. Shabbos, Rivka Chazru, and Rivka came, all three miracles returned. Bereshis Rabbah. Let's learn. A lot of the Meforshim say similar things, so I just picked Guraria because it's juicy. From the Maral Prague, but he's sort of Pirush, what's bothering Rashi? Shalo Yitach Loimer Ha'oil L'Soyra. Why? Sharei Ha'oil L'Mashma Oil Yudua. Oil Yudua. Imken Ein Tzarech L'Michtav Acharov Sora Imay. L'Hava L'Michtav. Oil Sora Imay. Loi Ha'oil Sora Imay. Monoshech. If you know which oil, you just say Ha'oil. And if you don't know which oil is, and you have to say it's Sora Imay, then you don't say Ha'oil. Oil means Alavesin Vach oil is. So then you should say La'oil Sora Imay. Or oil Sora Imay, which Rashi says called Tveva Shetzrich Lamet Chilosa Italahei Besafis. You could say one or the other. You could say oil Sora Imay or La'oil Sora Imay. But once you say Ha'oil means the oil Yadua. Everyone in the world knows which oil you're talking about. linguistically. When you say ha'oila mean alavesim was mereda. Oh, if alavesim was mereda, so you don't have to say sorim. If everyone doesn't know, so then you can't say ha'oila. The lotion doesn't go together. Kach pirushay oila hayodua. Okay. Ari sorim calls much sorakim is neged gimel mitzvahs. But these three miracles are connected to three mitzvahs of a woman. Bracha mitzvah bisa connected to the mitzvah of challah. Ner dolu connected to adlok. Anon kosher ala oil. Ki anon kovid ushlinas yakovid yisborach. Vazal kovid hakedusha v'tahora. V'ad katahora maybe l'geruach hakodesh. K'deminim v'sechas aved zara. Fikach tzara sheshemeres hatahora min anidus. Zoch shi anon kovid shoyre ala oil. Hey, Herschel, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
So the women have three mitzvahs, and
Yes.
connected the three mitzvahs of the women, there were three miracles. So
Right.
for the mitzvah of challah, there was bracha mitzvah mis. For the mitzvah of Neder Shabbos, there was a miracle that the candle was burning for a whole week. And for the mitzvah of Nida, which is kedusha tahara, there was a cloud that was standing on the oil. The Bereshis Rabbah says a fourth thing. Why did Rashi do it? Because Rashi knows from the Gemara that the woman has three mitzvahs. For the three mitzvahs, you get three miracles. What are the three mitzvahs? Nida, chalat, lakas, and but there isn't a fourth mitzvah. So therefore, Rashi decided to leave one out. Therefore, Rashi left it out. That if you want to really understand the Medrash, these are dvarim nifloim, and they're telling you about Maila Sora, Shoysim as Berechel B'Kol HaBrachos, Kema Shayona Kosher Ha'el, L'Midas Avram, that was a Mavur. V'Bracha Mitzvah B'Yisuk, Kema Shemar Nol Maila B'Payat, Chilas Lach L'cha, V'Avarecha, Zeh L'Kei Yitzchak, Shema Bracha, V'Vikach, Bracha Mitzvah. V'Del T'Seb, Suchem L'Revacha, V'Remes L'Berechas Yaakov, Misham Ma'arevacha B'Loylam, V'Yodua, and there Dolok Malach Shabbos and Yerevi, Haven Zehek. Another pshat. Kihu connected arba dvarim shama kadosh baruch hu Avram. Niskayim calls man shesora hoisa chayei l'dia ki ima yiske. The four things Abisha told to Avram Avinu happened in the lifetime of Sarah to show him that his bracha comes through her, with her. It says ki escha l'goy gadol kvar nisbar l'mayla ki mipneisha goy gadol kadosh baruch hu miyachat shmayalov ma'alam mishlayim v'lechen anan and shall shchin al oil, she's a yichud shmayalov. That's number one. Kion and akovid al oil. Okay, na shchina al oil. Keneged v'avarechecha bracha mitzvah bis. Keneged v'gadol shmecha. That's a subsuchas levach. Shulkach Hashem is gadol b'shul amayim b'beisiv. V'tiv b'chol oil. Bracha miner l'erev Shabbos l'posim b'chotz aderev Shabbos. Keneged v'ye bracha. Shelo yitzalamisha bracha ad shiyah mevarech acherim. Misha beirech esacher hu atzmei. Bracha sheni poisik v'zel pirush imerish nakal in yenechas. Amarti zeh lahagid lacho she'en roi lechasa mekavonas razal. In the Bereshis Rabbah samach tezayin ki kol divreim b'chochma b'shir lo yosifa v'lai goru v'hine Rashi rotza lechasa medivrei chazal ki heim amru dalad v'huay v'reagimul v'hine zech yisorim min hakavona asher rotza chazal. The Maral, this is the other week. I was just missing paper, so I used the paper from the other week. He's really giving a little bit of a shtech to Rashi. The Maral Midrash, yeah, he's saying that maybe Rashi was mechaserit because the women have three mitzvahs. And connected the three mitzvahs, there is three nisim, but fourth, Chazal said that there were four things by Sarah. And there's a way to figure out four inyonim by women. Why do you have to say that the four miracles are connected The three miracles are connected to three mitzvahs. There's connected 3 lashinas of bracha, 4 lashinas of bracha, 4 inyonim, whatever. And Rashi said it was machasem adivri chazal. Kihem amru dalad v'uevri rak gimel. Okay, it's a little bit of a dig. So he's giving a little bit of a shtech to Rashi. How come Rashi was mechaser from divri chazal? And the Rebbe is not coming directly to answer the Guraria, but when we're going to learn the Sikha,
and he doesn't say why Dafka he chose these two.
He's going to say so good that you'll understand that the whole Guraria, that's there's no question on Rashi. The question is on the Guraria, really, in a way. But the Rebbe answers it in such an unbelievable way that there's no question left. Zero question remaining. Okay, so let's get into the Rebbe Sicha. I was thinking the Sicha, to make a copy, we should learn it in Avenik, but we'll sit here till midnight if I'd make a copy, I'll learn it in Avenik. So, I'm just going to go through quickly. Rashi quotes 3 words, ha'oyla sora imay. According to Oldham Meforshim, the shaylas from the word ha'oyla, not from sora imay.
So already 2 words.
So already 2 words are extra. Okay, seems like a technical question, but it's a question. If Rashi thinks
Sarah is Imo.
if Rashi thinks that there's a psalimud, so the Mashal, the Targum Unkulu says that when she came to the Kent, he saw she was at Tzadekis. Well, who told Rashi Pshuta Shel Mikra that from the fact that it says Ho'oyala that you could learn that there was miracles? Maybe he saw that she's a special person. And if there was miracles, who told him 3 miracles? And if the 3 miracles, who told him was these 3 miracles? Because the Medrash says so. So the Rebbe's mahalach is that the Rashi is not a collection of madrashim. That's why Taka, sometimes the Rashi quotes things from Medrash. The Medrash says 4 things, Rashi says 3 things. And even the Lashon Rashi is different than the Medrash. And we'll soon go through
even though he called the Medrash, but he said it.
Because he's saying what's Mukhrich from Pshuta Shel Mikra. You're going to say over here, Rashi says Bereshis Rabba. Rashi, and the Rebbe says, if you look in the Ksav Yad, these last 2 words, Bereshis Rabba, Rashi wrote. So the Rebbe says Tapelatai. So if he's quoting the Medrash, why didn't he bring all 4 things? If he's Taka quoting the Medrash, the Rebbe says Taka is Apela. Sometimes Rashi doesn't have a pshat in Pshut Shemekra. So therefore, instead of saying a pshat, he says Rabbeinu Dorshu. He says right away in Dagdama Rabbeinu Dorshu. So if Rashi would have started with Rabbeinu Dorshu, Verstech, he's quoting a Medrash. And if he would have done that, he should have said all 4 things from the Medrash. Elamai Rashi is not quoting a Medrash. He's saying the pshat. So first of all, so why does he write at the end Bereshis Rabbah? So these are the kashas. What's the answer? The Rebbe says the answer is Poshet. Zeh Poshet. Not like the Shaila Rashi is not what all the Meforshim are saying. Rashi is bothered like this. Look at the pasuk. The whole half of the pasuk, the first half of the pasuk is muter. It says Vayviyah Yitzchak Ha'oyala Sari Imay. Vayikachas Rivka Vatila L'Risha. The double lashon. Why does it have to say Vayviyah Yitzchak Ha'oyala Sari Imay and then Vayikachas Rivka Vatila L'Risha? Could say right away. Vayisapar Evel Yitzchak Etzkol Asherotza. What's the double lashon? And then
The whole thing is extra.
The whole thing is extra. The whole thing is extra. If anything, maybe we should have said Vayiviyah Elov, and then Vayikach, and even that's extra. That's what's bothering Rashi. So Rashi decided the pshat is like this. It says Vayisaper Eved Yitzchak it's called Advarim Asher Asa. All the things Asher Asa that he did, what? That was a nisim. He told them all the miracles that happened. Why did he tell them all the miracles? Mustami also told them all the midas tovus of Rivka, right? He probably told them I was there and I was starving and all the shiksas were looking at me and they let me starve and my camels starve. And only one Yiddish Amedala came and she gave water to me and my camels. And he told them all the miracles that happened. Why did he tell them all the miracles? Stomach is telling him stories from Siddim and Tzadikim. Want to tell him stories from the Talks and Tales. He wanted to tell him that this is a shidduch for you. How do you know this is shidduch for me? How do you know it's for me? The shadchan comes and says, "This is a perfect girl for you." How do you know the perfect girl for me? She's amazing midas. Oh, maybe it's for my chavrusa. So they told him, "Unbelievable! Your father sent me a shlichus, and all these miracles happened. It must be for you." I davened to the Eibishter, and the Eibishter right away showed me these miracles. It must be for you. So Lachoyre, Yitzchak could trust him. Pasuk says, no, he didn't trust him. Fourth, it was a suffix in Yitzchak's mind. I don't know. Should I trust him or not? He tested to see, it's taka emes, that this woman is good for me. That Ifka is a good
is not enough. You have to bring it into.
He want to see. So what did he see? After you hear, there was Kvitzis Hadera, and all the miracles that happened. What could be bigger miracles? Muzman Zog, that when he saw bigger miracles, and that made him think this is a good shidduch, and therefore after that, Shaila is, what are the bigger miracles that happened? What are those unbelievable miracles that happened? What can the big miracles could have happened? What happened? What could be bigger miracles than Kvitzas Haderech? Unbelievable miracles. What could be bigger? All the big miracles already happened. So the Rashi says it must be merubas in the word ha'oyel asara imay. There's three words ha'oyel asara imay, and these three words there must be here. There must be merumas. In these three words, there must be merumas. The three nisim that happened. So again, to recap, where we're holding Chumi, we're holding right over here in the top of here. Rashi, ha'oyel asara imay. Rashi says that there were three miracles that happened. And the Rebbe says, how does Rashi know these three miracles? And what was bothering Rashi? So, again, we're saying that what's bothering Rashi is that the pasuk is extra. Why does it say, it should say, that's it, it's enough. Elamai. It's Rashi, says, he told him all the miracles. But Yitzchak didn't trust him. Maybe thought, okay, they're good miracles. Who says it's a wife for me? Shatchan comes to Bocher and says, this wife is perfect for you. How do I know? She's very good midas. Maybe it's for my friend. No, there were miracles when I went. There was miracles that happened. Okay, but how do I still know for me? Must be that now there were bigger miracles. Unbelievable. So Rashi says, must be, these were unbelievable miracles. Three words, it says extra words. What's ha'oyla? What is ha'oyla mitaheyediyah? The tent. What do you mean the tent? A tent, not the tent. Elamai, we know from last week's parsha, from the last aliyah, vayades hamoke meiroch. How did Avram Avinu know where's the place of that Kedah? Rashi says, because it says hamokim. What's hamokim? Because onan kosher alahor. He saw onan kosher on the mount. That's why it was hamokim. So Rashi says that's a pshar. Ha'oyala, not oil. Ha'oyala. Ha'oyala means the oil. It's special.
Why the hay be not just the one hay, but why the hay after?
Because the hay after is instead of a lamed. Rashi says whenever you say you want to say lo oil, you say oil lo instead of it's right. But the extra hay, that's a question. So hay is like hamokim, hay ayediyah. That was the onan kosher. There was an onan kosher, was a miracle. Then it says soda. What do we know special from the hay? Oil.
The hay gets a
yeah. Soda, what's the shot? Soda. We know that when Avram brought the orchim, even though he was in such tsar from the Mila, he himself prepared all the food. And even though one thing, he went to and he gave it Rashi says, why? Why? Okay, so Yishmael gave him to help him with the sheep, with the goat, whatever, the Ben Abokar, but why? Why give soda to bake the bread? Everything he made himself. The butter himself. Alt, checked the meat, barbecue he made himself. He barbecued himself. He doesn't need soda to make a barbecue. He knows how to make a better barbecue than soda. So why, when it comes to baking the bread, did he go to soda? Elamai. We see from here that the Indian of baking bread, that shach to soda. Just like when you have a barbecue, women, like, who bakes the challah in your house? Your wife, not you. You know how to bake challah? You know how to make challah. For barbecue, as is the Minig America, that the man is the maestro in the barbecue. So it's not something new that started in America. Already in the days of Avram Avinu and Sarah Imeinu, when it came to make a barbecue, Avram Avinu sich Masada given to make a barbecue. To give Gibel Lashonis Bachardel, Avram Avinu could take care of it. Brisket, he knows how to do. Pastrami, macht allein. Beef jerky, macht allein. But bread, challah, that's the Indian of Sarah. So we see a story that's a shaykh with Sarah, and that there is Indian of making bread is a special thing, shaykh to Sarah. So when the Torah says an extra word, Sarah, the Mimaram is on a nest that happened, B'shaychus to the Indian of Sarah, which is to bake bread. And then it says imoy. What's imoy? Even a little child sees that what's something special that his mommy does. The mommy lights Shabbos candles. Now, could be he has a sister that lights Shabbos candles, but the sister, not every boy that's a ben chomish has a sister. Maybe sister's already married. Maybe he has a sister that's a baby. That's still in family.
He don't have a sister.
Maybe he doesn't have a sister. But for sure, he sees his mommy lights a Shabbos candle, even if he doesn't know why, but that's the mitzvah, that the mommy lights a Shabbos candle. So from these three words, he sees three things. That's why Rashi couldn't say a fourth thing, because there's only three words. Where are we going to learn Dal Tziseb Suchas Lervacha? Rashi is not quoting a medrash. The Rebbe Shit is that Rashi is not quoting medrasha. Another Nikud is what's the Indian of Dal Tziseb? What's the miracle of Dal Tziseb Suchas Lervacha? Huh? What's so special that the Dal Tziseb Suchas Lervacha?
It's about the chuppah, well, in 4-6.
What's special is that she's a Gemilas Chasadim, that she has her gates are open. She brings in a lot of guests. But that's not such a big nest. He already told a story. The Eved told him that this girl, when he was starving and he had nothing to drink, that she gave him to drink, right?
And the candles.
And the candles, right? So obviously, she's a girl that's a very kind girl. So seeing that she's opening the doors for guests is not, you already heard that, unless you don't believe what Eliezer is telling you. What Eliezer told you, that she's a special girl, she's kind. How much more kind is the fact that you open your? He shouldn't. What's the bigger?
What's the door?
Yeah, and then and Bachlal, there's no nest over here. It sounds like that the previous pasuk says also. Rashi says that he told them not only her good midas, the nisim, and still Yitzchak didn't fully accept it. And Rashi says, he was waiting to see bigger miracles. Well, the fact that she opens her doors for guests is not a bigger miracle.
It's not a miracle. It's
not a miracle.
Good nature.
It's a good nature. So first of all, that he heard already. Second of all, it's not a miracle. And Oila Kolana is, there's only three words in the pasuk. He can only squeeze out three miracles, not four. So therefore, all the criticism that the Maral had against Rashi is batal mavutal. Now you understand a very important tifin akuda, the difference of the Maral and the Rebbe. The Maral saying that Rashi quotes that there's only three miracles. Why? Must have been because the Mishnah says that there's three mitzvahs, and three mitzvahs, three miracles. But still, Rashi made a mistake. Why is Rashi not bringing the fourth thing from Chazal?
Right.
The Rebbe's mahalach is the Rebbe is not quoting. The Rashi is not quoting a medrash. Rashi is not quoting the medrash. Rashi is learning the Chumash. If incidentally the Medrash said the same thing, okay.
So why you say Medrash Rabbah?
I was saying, why did he say Medrash Rabbah?
At the end.
Oh, at the end. Very good. Zok the Rebbe, the answer is like this. Rashi said that there was a miracle in the candle. It was lit Me'erev Shabbos, L'Erev Shabbos. Who told Rashi the miracle was Me'erev Shabbos, L'Erev Shabbos? Maybe it was the whole mess less of Shabbos. Maybe it was till Tuesday afternoon. On this last detail, there's no Rayim Pshuta Shamikra. How do you know Pshuta
Only from
Shamikra?
Medrash.
That we know from Bereshis Rabbah.
That's what you bring the Medrash.
Yeah, that's
not
what
to let you know that
the whole Rashi is Pshat. For the last thing, that the miracle was not stam that it lit for 24 hours or 72 hours, but for this Nakuda that the miracle was for a whole week. How do we know that? Pshuta Shamikra, there's no Rayim for this. So for this, there's only one way to bring a raya from Bereshis Rabbah. It's the only raya from Bereshis Rabbah. So,
still have the word imo is miyuta.
So no, because now we have all three words. Ha'oyala teaches me the miracle of onan akosher ala oya. From Sora we know bracha mitzvah isa. From Imoy we know neil doluk be'oifen nisi. How do we know that this Ner Doluk was Me'erev Shabbos, light of Shabbos? So for this, Rashi Taka bring the Bereshis Rabbah. Here we have the shiloh that remains is if we learn it from the Ha'oyel Sora Ima, these three words teach us the three miracles. Why is the Rashi brings it l'choyda in the wrong seder from the pasuk? The pasuk says Ha'oyel Sora Ima. So Ha'oyel Sora Ima, from the first thing we learn, the union of oil, which is the honor. Sora is the bracha mitzvah. Ima is ner dolok men of Shabbos Shabbos. Rashi says it in the opposite side. Rashi says she called man share Sora kayama. So ner dolok mer of Shabbos light of Shabbos. So bracha mitzvah needs on kosher. The opposite. Then Mrs. Taka the Medrash also says the other way. So why is it Rashi mahapak to say that from the Medrash and mahapak to say that from the weights in the pasuk?
If you already bring the Medrash, at least you said the weight.
Say the Elamai Rashi is not bringing the Medrash. But fourth, what? And you can't say that the miracle. He said it in the Seder of the miracles that happened. Pashas, the first thing that happened is when she walked into the tent, the cloud came onto the tent.
The cloud was there.
The cloud was there. Fakir, ner doluk mer Shabbos Shabbos. Even if you're going to say that she walked in to the tent 10 minutes before Shabbos, the first thing she did was she lit the candle. But the miracle was not nikir right away.
It's a week.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wow. The candle is still glowing, so we know that there's a miracle. But the Vaila, she probably baked bread. The Onon already probably came. So why is Rashi saying it in this Seder Dafka? Against the Seder the Medrash and against the Pasuk? Because as we said, how does Rashi know in Pshuta Shemikra that there were three miracles? From the word Ha'oyla, he knew that there was an Onon kosher boil. From the word Sora, he knew that there was a bracha mitzubis. And from the word Ima, he knows ner dolak me'er Shabbos lev Shabbos. He should have said it in that seder. So the Rebbe answers pshat. Very nice. The Rebbe says the pshat is azoi. We're not talking about the order of how it happens. We're talking about Yitzchak is analyzing. The Rebbe told Yitzchak, she's amazing shidduch for you. She has unbelievable good midas. What else? There was unbelievable miracles that happened. It's a simon and Hashemayim. It's a good shidduch for you. Okay. Yitzchak is not convinced. He says he doesn't. I want to see. So the Eibush just shows him another three miracles, which is merubas in the three words Ha'oyla, Sora, Imoy. From the word Ha'oyla, there was an Onan. From the word Sora, there was a bracha tzavisa. From the word Imoy, that ner dolok might of Shabbos, light of Shabbos. Okay. Now, when Yitzchak is now, we're looking at Yitzchak's mind. Which is the most choshev miracle?
What's the first thing he said?
What's the most choshev miracle that convinced him that this woman is at tzadekis and is bedoim alasara imoy, and therefore he wants to marry her?
The onan is kosher on the oil.
So the first thing is from the three things. Onan kosher oil is a schus. It's a schus of keeping mitzvahs nida. But the oil, what's the thing that's a mitzvah from the three things that she's doing with her hands? The candle she's lighting with her hands. And then she lit the candle. The Eibishter made a nest that even though it was a regular candle, that should light only for 4 or 5 hours. The Eibishter made a miracle that it lit not stam for 4 or 5 hours, it lit for an entire week. It lit for an entire week. Mamish like the nest of Chanukah. So that is a mitzvah that she's doing with her two hands. And in there, so this is an unbelievable nest. It's a nes that has a shaykhis with a mitzvah that she is doing with her two hands. So that was probably to that was probably to Yitzchak the most choshev thing. Second thing is there was a bracha mitzuya b'isa.
The Hanukkah is also, it's a week. First day, it was normal.
Exactly.
It wasn't
It was not nikir right away. Exactly. So that's the first and the most important nes. Second nes is bracha mitzuya b'isa because it's not necessarily a mitzvah. Again, there's a mitzvah to take challah, but that was the bracha mitzuya b'isa was that the isa had a bracha. But Lapoil, the isa she makes with her hands, right? Before they had mixers, big machines, yeah, with the hand, make a knet with the hand. You remember how Bobby used to make challah with the hand.
There was no bash mixture.
There's no bash.
Yes.
Your mother ever made challah? She used the bash or she used her hands?
Physical.
Huh? Her hands.
Yeah.
Bobby used to use hands. My mother used to use her hands.
I used to. Physical.
Today you have a machine for a few $100, press a button, lachazoi, and gegangen. It's really unbelievable. But this was something that Sora Imenu did with her hands, and Ifka didn't do with her hands. So honor and kosher oil is something, it's a simon malamayla. It's nothing that she did with her hands, and it's not bekesher directly with a mitzvah that she did. At least in Pshat. Okay, we said that we could say that's connected to Maral, but
she didn't do anything.
Right. So therefore, Rashi is saying that when Shekol's mantra Sorakayam said there, Doluk Merev Shabbos, Ubrachim Mitzubi Savona Kosher Alam Shemesa Posku Shekabosir Kachozru. And when Yitzchak saw this, he decided that this is a tzitkonis, and therefore he wants to marry her. That she's this very special woman, and he would like to marry her. This is the pshat of Rashi. Ad kan the pshat in Rashi. The pshat itself from the Rebbe is Dayenu. See, all the Meforshim have such a hard time understanding. Where did Rashi pick up? They all think Rashi quoted a Medrash. It must be Rashi quoted a shtickle Medrash. How the Rebbe? It's brilliant. The Rebbe is tzlaket. That the first half of the pasuk is all extra. Who needs these words? It should say after he told them all the good midas and the miracles. Yitzchak still didn't believe that this is necessarily his bashert, his wife. After Yitzchak he saw 3 miracles, and it's merumas in the word unbelievable. Now the Rebbe says in Yonam Afloim Rashi. What's the Yonam Afloim Rashi? Number one, what do we see? From based on this pshat that the Rebbe just gave, and pshat, right? Pshat. That she lit the candle before she got married. First it says, when he saw that there was 3 miracles, he was convinced that she is the right girl, and then so
when she lighted the candles.
So she lit the candles
before
she got married. And guess what? Rashi says, how old was she? 3 years old. Taka Darshit is the Paskuni brings that she was 14 years old. But Rashi says Rashi says that she was 3 years old. So we see from Rashi, Advar Pella, a girl is 3 years old. A girl did not yet get married. Because this is the whole pshat here. Pshat. First he saw 3 miracles, and then so first he saw the 3 miracles. He saw how she lights a Shabbos candle, and miraculously it lights Erev Shabbos. And so we see that a girl is 3 years old before she get married, and she's lighting a Shabbos candle. So Rebbe says from here is a Raya Gemura that Rivka Imenu was a Lubavitch.
Which age did Taki start lighting candles? 6 months, 2 years.
3 years old?
It happened that Shabbos she was but
that's what Rebbe says. That's why this is the only sikha that finishes off.
Why children Taki start at age 2?
Later years, the Rebbe said if shaykh or whatever, that they're sharp enough, they should start at 2. This, like, the bold words at the end of the sikha. Von dem allem ist verstandig, der Goydlas Chus und die Stadlis, jede jüdische Mädel, wie nur sie ist, der Gierle Chinuch soll zinnen Licht, bechol Erev Shabbos Kodesh V'yomtov. So, the Rebbe said, you see a raya from here? First, she lit the candle, and then, when he saw the miracle, he married her. So she was not in the suit. She's 3 years old, and she's lighting candles. What's going on? Scharaya, there is a posuk in the Torah. A posuk in Chamisha Chumshe Torah. Chazal say, Kim Avram Avinu Kol HaTorah Kul Atcheling Nitna. And the Rashi is bringing Pshuta Shal Mikra. That Rivka Imenu first lit Shabbos candle before she got married. So you have to say, Einach and say Pshat. Or you say Rivka Imenu was Lubavitch. Or you say that everyone should do the same thing. That's the Pshat. Everyone that we see from Rivka Imenu. It's a brilliant Pshat.
Before Eliezer came and found her, she was lighting Shabbos candles.
Probably not. I don't know. Maybe maybe not. The bottom line is, at this point,
That Shabbos she did.
that Shabbos she lit, and she was not married. After a week went by, and he saw that it was a miracle, and the candle was burning, Shabbos l'Shabbos, he married her. Vayikach. So we see that before she got married, and she's 3 years old, and she's lighting Shabbos candles. In the Aoris, and if we have time,
He kissed her before they got married.
no, Yaakov kissed Rachel. He didn't kiss her before they got married. No.
What
Yeah,
did the Oed?
Yeah, exactly. No, because she was. So
That's why the Shidduchim today. You're going to the Oed before you get engaged.
yeah, he brought it to the exactly.
You light candles over there.
Exactly.
You light candles, same thing. You light candles, you're going to the Oed, you come out, you engage.
What does I?
And the sky, and you
I think
can see the sky because it's still
Exactly.
the clouds.
The Rebbe, if we have time, I would love to make a copy. Really, we learned the Oris Innovating, but we'll go through a few of the points that the Rebbe says. A few of the points. I mean, first, bottom line. So we see from here. The Rebbe says we see from here that a girl is 3 years old. Before she got married, she's lighting Shabbos candle. The Rebbe says, what do you think? Avram Avinu didn't light Shabbos candles? You think Yitzchak didn't light Shabbos candles?
His mother did not.
No, she died. But
Before.
Sarah died, right?
Before.
Because yeah. But now the din is if a person's wife gave a birth, if a woman's not home, a man has to light, right? So what do you think? Avram Avinu is kim kol HaKtorah kulat shel nitna. So Azicher Avram Yitzchak did the mitzvah, lighting candles. So they did the mitzvah and they lit the candle. So why is she lighting a candle? Shmami know that even though Avram and Yitzchak lit the candle,
They have the Shiur, she didn't have the Shiur, nevertheless.
still she lit the candle.
Maybe it was minimum Harabbim.
Oh, the Olabavitch is upside. So the Rebbe says even though that Rivka, where a person's going to say, how are we going to learn from Rivka? Rivka, well, even though she was 3 years old, but obviously she was a Gedolah B'das. We were learning that that Emasin Isha L'das from Rivka because it was must be with her consent. But the Rebbe says depends. When you talk things up Iteva, so you could say that Rivka was a different league. She was a special person. And before Matan Torah with different, things were different. People were different. Yidden had different. But if you're talking Mitzad, Kim Kol Torah Kula Avram Avinu Kim Achale Nitna, so obviously he kept it with the halachas of the Torah. So the fact is that when you're talking about consent for marriage, so it was a different time and a different place. It's from Matan Torah, and she was a special person. And when she was a 3-year-old and she had more seichel than today, a woman that's 30 years old. Okay, fine. Granted. But when it comes to mitzvahs in the Torah, nothing changes. It doesn't matter what your first or last name is. If you're a day under bar mitzvah, you're part of the film. A day over bar mitzvah, you're chayav b'tfilin. And it doesn't matter if you're the first cousin of the Rogatchover Gaon or the Rogatchover Gaon himself, or you're a poshet sheveh pshuta. Bar mitzvah, bas mitzvah, bar mitzvah, bas mitzvah. So she was a girl that's 3 years of age. So mitzvah the dinei Torah, she is 3 years old, and she's not in the suah. and yet she lit the candles. The Rebbe says we see a dvar nifla. We see here a dvar nifla. What's the dvar dvar pella? It's like a dvar nifla. Before we get to the dvar nifla, I just want to talk about a few of the orders that Rebbe talks about. First, the Rebbe says that the Tosfos in Ksubas Daf Zayin says, by Vorchos Rivka, it says that, and it said from here we learn Birchas Eidus. The Tosfos says Tasmakta Be'alma, because it's not mamish pshat in the pasuk. So also the Pirkei that Rebbe Elazar says that when it's that by Vorchu, Kachazan Shoim in the Mavarach Sakala B'Chupasa Kach the Berchas Rivka. Also here it's a pashtus and a smach the Balma, especially that the Pirkei that Rebbe Elazar brings the Feidish Rabbi Yitzchak said that she was only married when she came to Yitzchak. The Rebbe says that there is a mashittas, a machloikis in the madrasha. There are many madrashim that says v'yikach ish nezem zov that was Eirusin. He was a shliach le'Eirusin. Some madrashim say it's not true. That was just a gift. And later the Eirusin happened later. But there are some shittas that hold that the Eirusin itself happened when Eliezer gave her
at the same time.
That was it. He gave her as a shliach from Yitzchak. When he gave her the jewelry, that was the Ariat Mukadesh's li. He said Ariat Mukadesh's li Yitzchak. When he gave her, he said Ariat Mukadesh's li Yitzchak Kadash Moshe Yisrael. So the Rebbe says, even if you'll say like those medrashim, it's machloikis. Was she an arusa? Was she not an arusa? She was definitely not an asua. It doesn't sound like she was an asua, but maybe she was an arusa. She had a din of arusa. The Rebbe says this whole concept that a woman lights the Shabbos candles, there's two reasons. That we learned that Rashi, again, I said because last week we learned that Rashi. And Rashi brings both reasons. But Rashi brings both reasons. That even she is seconds betzor chabais, therefore she gets the schus to light the Shabbos candle. And also because he kofs a neder shaloylam, therefore she should be metaken and to light up neder shaloylam. Both these reasons, Dr. Rebbe, doesn't make sense by an arusa. What's an arusa? In the days of Chazal, he said, Mazel tov, they broke the glass. Everyone went home. A year later, they got together for the Nisuin. And that year, where did the girl live? In Papa's house. In Mama's house. She didn't live with the Chosin in their new apartment. So when she was a Tzekes Betzor Chabais, which Tzor Chabais we're talking about? She wasn't. An arusa is not a Tzekes Betzor Chabais. She's in her father's house. So if you're saying the reason that she gets this chus of lighting candle because she's Tzekes Betzor Chabais, so that only has been a suy, not by arusa. And if you're saying because he killed Kelakach Tikna, why would you say that applies to an arusa? Chava and Odom Rishon, she was an arusa or an asua? She was an asua, right? He slept with her. He was Odom Yodas Chav's Isha. So obviously she was an asua. Right? So it doesn't make sense to say that an arusa is chayiv to light. If the wrong pshat, if you would say not the Lubavitch pshat, you would say that only a married woman lights candle. If Chas v'Shalom, you'd say something. And if you would be such a thing that today they get married like in the Zman Shas, that the Yereh Mekudesh is Li and the Chuppah, and they break the glass, everyone goes home. A year later, they come back for the Nisuin. Yeah, in that year, would she light the Shabbos candle or not? Not. What was the reason? Why would you say a Nisuin lights the candle? Because you're sekas b'tzor chavais, kilkum v'tikun. That's only shach b'Nisuin. So the fact, even if you'll say that Rivka was an arusa, which that itself is a shaila, some say it's not true. Why would Yitzchak not give the ring to his kala, send Eliezer to give the ring? Nah, that was only stam gifts. That was stam gifts. Later, when she came off the camel, he gave her Arei Mekudeshes Li. But even if you're going to say that Eliezer was Mekadesh, okay, then she was still an arusa. But if you would say that the lighting Shabbos candle has to do with marriage, it wouldn't start by Narusa, it would start by Nasuya. And she was lighting the Shabbos candle before she was a Nasuya. Shema Mina, before the marriage, you have to light Shabbos candle. Shema Mina.
The first time when the Rebbe came out with the Smiths, probably, right?
Yeah.
They bring out
This is the Sicha. This is the Sicha.
famous Sicha.
This is the Sicha.
Ah.
There's another beautiful Shaklavataria in one of the Aoris. We already have a minion?
No, you want.
Mm.
I remember when people told the Rebbe, but in Europe, they didn't, only from the Chazan. The Rebbe said, yeah, because they didn't want.
Right.
Not because
Right. The Rebbe asked.
the Rebbe like daughter did
Right.
like
The Rebbe asked that Yishmael Farson, that there was a lot of mashpochas miyuchosas b'Yisrael that medoire doiris that the minig was that the girls did like him. That medoire doiris
the little girl would like.
that the little girls did like. Elamai, the Rebbe said that because there was good news about tachkus should be Yisrael, the kam they have what to eat, so they couldn't afford to buy extra candles. But again, from here we see befedish a pasuk in the Torah. I say a pasuk, Yitzchak Oila, sorry, and then Vayikach Rivka. Another beautiful Shakvatari, one of the artists is after Rivka started lighting, right? The next week and the week after, do you think Avram and Yitzchak stopped lighting, or they didn't stop lighting? Interesting Shaklatari. The Rebbe says it's told in Machloikis Chad Rabbanon Trei Rabbanon. What's Chad? Sounds a little more fancy than it is. Don't get so scared. Chad Rabbanon Trei Rabbanon. It goes like this. I'll give you an example. By Megillah, it's Machloikis by Megillah and by Chanukah. Could a cotton be moitze a godel with reading the Megillah? Some places can say, yeah. Why do you have to hear Megillah? Chacham said you have to hear Megillah. Why does the cotton have to read Megillah? Chacham said you have to mechanech a cotton b'mitzvahs. So you're chayv med rabbanon, he's chayv med rabbanon. So the rabbanon, kuta shidduch, hand in a glove. Very nice. Have a nice day. Other places can say no. Chad rabbanon, trei rabbanon. You are a single rabbanon. The rabbanon said you have to hear the Kriyas Megillah. Rabbanan said you have to light Chanukah candle. The child, it's a double the Rabbanan. The Rabbanan said you have to light Chanukah candle, and the Rabbanan said to be Mechanech. You're not on the same wavelength over here. Just like a Deiraisa can be Moitze the Rabbanan. If I ate only one kazayis and the person ate Kedei Svia, it's a shaila if I can bench for you because I'm a chayv. I'm a chayv only the Rabbanan. You're chayv to bench Deiraisa. So how could I be moitzi you? My chiyuv is much smaller than yours. So some say, yeah, the Rabbana is all the same. Others say, no. Depends. So the whole thing of lighting Shabbos candles is the Rabbana. Why should a girl under Bas Mitzvah light a candle for Chinuch? So Avram Avinu has to light the candle, the Rabbana. It's a tzachad the Rabbana. Rivka is lighting the candle because of Trei the Rabbana. So if you hold Rabbanon, come hand the glove that stop giving me your Litvish alumnus, Yeshiva Shereid, whatever. Okay, so then I hear. So then probably Avram would stop. But if you give me kvetch and you're going to say that's Taked Aloch, it's Chad Rabbanon, Trei Rabbanon, so then Avram Avinu is a Chad Rabbanon. He's the Rabbanon said he has to light the candle. But Rivka, who's under Bas Mitzvah, is a Trei Rabbanon. The Rabbanon said you should light the candle. And the Rabbanan said you should educate your children. And by the way, Chinuch Habas is also a mitzvah, equally with the Rabbanan like Chinuch Habon. So that's a trei with the Rabbanan. So probably Avram was still lighting the candle. So what's the big deal if Avram is still lighting the candle? Here's the punchline of the Sikha. Unbelievable. This is the punchline of the Sikha.
They didn't wait for her to get married.
No. Wie kommt es? Avram is at Tzaddik. He's already over 99 years old. He was over 10 this yoiness and he stood strong. And he's lighting a Shabbos candle, and he said, "L'shem yichud kudsha b'richud shchem tel layachid l'shem yud kibavchei b'yichud shlim b'shem kol Yisrael." And he lit the candle. No miracle. A little girl, 3 years old, she took a high chair. She climbed on. Stamna, she was 3 years old. She was small, yeah. She took a milk crate. She climbed down. She lit the candle.
And then the one will come.
And then mitnamo, there's a miracle as big as Hanukkah, and it lights. Me'erev Shabbos, Le'erev Shabbos. Wie kommt es that for Avraham Avinu, it says Pasach. The miracle stopped. And when Rivka came, it came back. The miracle stopped. It came back. Wie kommt es Avraham Avinu is lighting week after week after week after week. No miracle. A little girl, 3 years old, comes. Miracle. Wie kommt das Azach? How you talk?
Well, all the life from Abraham, there was a miracle.
No,
Only
when
when
Sarah
she died,
yeah,
the
so
miracle
when
stopped.
when
The
Sarah was
question is, what
alive,
happened from when she died till she died.
it stopped. So
This
when
time.
Sarah was alive, Sarah lit, not Avram.
Right.
The day Sarah died, Avram started to light.
But no miracle.
No miracle. When Ifka came, Kenach Zayin, that he still lit. Kad Rabon and Terei Rabon. Still lit.
But the
Still no
question-
miracle.
The question is why a miracle to her, not to him.
It says possible. And it postponed, the miracle stopped. Even though he's lighting the candle. That's why. I thought. He can sein as Azach. So the Rebbe muss man sagen, because a Yiddische Mädel is a Baas, Sora, Rivka, Rachel, Veleah. And this is a special mitzvah. The Chazal say, "Oda maybe chitim koises." When a man and woman have different roles in life. A man is hunter gatherer. He's hunter gatherer. He goes out and he hunts and he brings it into the house. The woman takes the nyonim that the man brought into the house and makes it roy lachila. She elevates it within the house. His job is to bring it in the house. And a woman is called she elevates it in the house, not to bring it in the house. She wants it in the house. She picks it up. He goes out there and he hunts, and then he shechts. She cooks the food and makes it for lachila. Chitim koises. He brings the chitim to eat chitim. She grinds it. She bakes it. She makes it. So therefore, a miracle happens in an inyan that's your avoid. Whatever is your avoid, and you do it, that's where you get miracles. And so careful, maybe you have to do it because you have no choice. But you're not getting miracles there. Miracles when you do your avoida and you dedicate yourself in your avoida. The avoida of a Jewish girl is to light Shabbos candle. And therefore, a little girl that's 3 years old, even though Avram Avinu is a tzaddik and is after 99, Vayeda Elav David Shatzachtzem Bavizin, but a little Jewish girl lights a candle, the miracle happens to her and not to Avram Avinu. The Rebbe says every Jewish girl that lights the Shabbos candle, there's a miracle, but we don't see it. We don't see it. Sori Meinu and Rivka Meinu was zoiche that the whole world could see it. Physically, the light was burning Me'erev Shabbos, light of Shabbos, but be'emes lehevi yadu alacha that every Jewish girl that lights a Shabbos candle, the candle glows into the entire world, Me'erev Shabbos, light of Shabbos. Elamai, we don't see it, but the miracle is there. The miracle is there.
By Abraham Avinu didn't happen a miracle because it wasn't on him.
It wasn't his mitzvah. He did it. Taka did
He did a
it.
mitzvah, but it wasn't his mitzvah.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't his Indian. So therefore, it wasn't his Indian. You can't say it's not his mitzvah. It wasn't his Indian. So therefore, Dafke by her there was a miracle. Now I'm going to read again. Bold.
Now
See the Rebbe. This is the only Sicha. Only Sicha in Likkutei Sichos that finishes like this. The Rebbe finished the Sicha. I'm telling you these words in bold. The Rebbe wrote every syllable over here. And the Rebbe also probably underlined it and asked, you see how the Sicha finishes? You see this line? This line is the end. The end. The Sicha is finished. Then the Rebbe wrote these lines himself, and he wanted it should be in bold. From them, Alam is verstandig. From this is understood. The Guidel Aschus, the unbelievable merit, was is da in der Stadlus as jede jüdische Mädel. Wie nor sie gele Kinder soll zinden licht b'chol erev Shabbos kodesh v'erev Yom Tov. That the unbelievable merit in putting in the effort to influence every Jewish girl as soon as she's igil chinuch, that she should light the candle every Erev Shabbos and Yom Tov. Und du hat lokes ne Shabbos wird man solcher sein. Wie sagt in Yalkut Shimoinu Tzanedes Tzion. And through the merit of the Jewish girls lighting Shabbos candles, we will be zoichet to see the lights in the Beis HaMikdash. But the Eibishter wird weisen, bekorev mamish begeula amitis v'ashleima. What could a bigger Ashgacha protest could you have? Happens to be this week. We learned in the Gemara, the Mishnah, it says that there's 3 mitzvahs for women, and Keneged Zeh, there's the 3 miracles. What can the schus? It's a Punta Ashgacha protest. It's this week. Why you couldn't make it up? And it's 50 years since the Rebbe started. The Rebbe said this 50 years ago. The Rebbe started a campaign, and now Mitzvah Shem was going to start construction in the house. The Rebbe sent shluchim to knock on the door of Mr. Cooperstein to ask him if his factory will produce for Lubavitch the candelabras for this campaign 50 years ago. David Raskin and Benjamin Klein knocked on his door, Mr. Cooperstein, and down the block, and he sat in the back of the house where the Ganovim are coming every night. They're looking for bars of gold. And we said there's someone knocked out a window with their Pesach time. So I bought plywood to put it up. So a guy an Israeli tells me, Miss Michigan, they can knock out every window. Let them come from the same door every night. So whenever I go and I close the door, they open the door, they close. They would take down the shelf. But it's still his lab where he was working on it, because he had a factory with metal. And his chandeliers and things are still hanging over there in the Kalim. That they're not taking. They're looking for bars of gold. I think I put up a sign to say, if you find the bars of gold, please give me 50%.
They still have
I think there's the Chayei. The Chayei. Schools are not even sleeping. The cats are not bothering. I feel the Meiselach kriegen nicht da was to nehmen dort. But these guys are coming there all the time. And he's still hanging over the chandeliers and the pieces. He worked 2 million pieces he produced. 2 million pieces he produced. Wow. So what Ashgacha brought is the Eibshel helfen. We have to be mashpia taka on every Jewish girl. And if they're not yet frum, or even if they're frum, but they don't know that there's an unbelievable nest that happens mad of Shabbos, light of Shabbos, they think that only Rivkei Meinu was Lubavitch, but they don't realize they could also do the same like Rivkei Meinu. Yeah.
Sharila's the koyach.
One.
Why? He's up in the shower.
I know, but the Rebbe thought it's better there should be one, because for a few reasons. First of all, because Ahmad Bar thinks, and it's also true, that according to some Mekubalim, 2 candles connected ish v'ishta. So over here is not shaykh ish v'ishta. And also, the Rebbe had a few reasons. We'll go through it. The Rebbe had a few reasons why he thought it's a good idea, it should be only one.
And the Bacher looking at the oratory, he could like those.
It's a good shayla. It's up to him. If he wants to connect Zachar Shamash, should like to. Probably like to.
I think tour the buildings one.
Which number?
There's a few time. We have to go through the time and see why. The Rebbe was a little bit. So the Rebbe had a few reasons why he didn't. He thought it would be a bad miss. It should be light too. You guys asked him. The Rebbe wanted.
Okay, so
we should influence every person to a minimum of one. If a girl decides she wants to.
Yeah.
A few things. The Rebbe thought that the mommy, it should always be in a way that shouldn't be chas v'shalom, a challenge to the authority of the mommy. That was one thing. The other thing is the Rebbe said that today Rahman al-San is a big afkedis, and many people in the college campuses and off campus, on campus, the women are very promiscuous. People. Rahman al-San. So all you need is that she's Ahmad Bar lights 2 candles, and she's saying, "Oh, I'm already lighting 2 candles." That's a Rahman al-Islam that could be it gives the bad message. That's why the Rebbe wanted to make a takona shavel l'chol nefesh, there only be 1 candle. Thank you very much for joining.
Yes, thank you. Have a great week, Rabbi. Hope to see you tomorrow night, Mr.